Thank you, Mr. President. There's always things in budget bills that we like and we don't like. Unfortunately, it's the nature of the way we do the budget. With respect to putting policy issues in the budget, that's a fight we lost 20 years ago. Unless we're prepared to amend the Constitution, it is the way things get done here. And as frustrating as it can be, there's still a lot of good things in this budget. And I'm going to speak specifically to the issue of the definition of public works. Senator Amador and I obviously disagree on this issue, and we have a different view of history. He referenced 1918. I referenced 1934, when the public said very loudly and clearly that they believed that public dollars should not chase poverty wages, that the definition of prevailing wage was set then. It's an issue that has been watered down over the decades through judicial decisions and compromises, which is why we are here today. It is not new to this chamber. I've been in the Senate 15 years now. The definition of public works was introduced more than a decade ago. In fact, I carried it for 2 years while I was the chair of the Labor Committee. Former Senator Terry Murphy carried it the whole time he was here, and in fact, he had more co-sponsors on that bill than just about anything else. So clearly the Senate has considered strengthening the definition of public works. But I want to, again, reference history. Senator Amador talked about history. I will talk about history, not just the fact that the public decided almost 100 years ago that this made sense and it was the right thing to do for New York. We are in the midst of a pandemic. It is not the first crisis this state has faced, certainly not the first crisis in my recent lifetime, post 9/11, post Hurricane Sandy, and now. But even more importantly, if you go back to the 1930s, it was bold thinking by many people, one of whom sat in this chamber, former Senator Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who then became the President of the United States and recognized if America was going to get out of the Depression, it was going to take bold thinking and public money. Creating real jobs, investing public money. We saw the Congress do it 2 days ago, pass a $2 trillion relief package, the first of probably what will be many, to put money back into the hands of Americans so that we can get our economy going. That's what the definition of public works was the first time. That's what it will be now. It is so important that we're doing it now, making sure that we provide decent wages, good wages, and they're not the same. Upstate and down are not the same. The prevailing rate in New York City is not the prevailing rate in Buffalo. It's not the prevailing rate in Onondaga County. But people who work in those places should not be paid less with public money than the prevailing rate. That's what we're doing here today. Restating what America said in the 1930s. Public dollars should go to good-paying jobs to get Americans back on their feet. I am proud to vote for this. Thank you, Mr. President.